Great. Okay, now I think you can hear me, right? I think you can hear me. I'm seeing the mixer thing go. Okay, hey, this is live trading, so you're gonna see some alerts. An alert is not an immediate buy notification at all right? So um, let's continue. Sorry, let me get my screen back so I can see everything. Okay, I'm assuming you can hear me now. Everything should be looking good. So the first thing I was saying was the NASDAQ, okay? Um, I was talking about 19,000 for a good while. I'm really, really hoping we don't come to 19 because I want this 50 moving average to hold well. All right, it's a really strong line right here, and we actually haven't even used it since basically August, July. So I'm really hoping that that 50 moving average can hold, never taking us anywhere near the golden line. I've been saying as long as Nasdaq's over the golden line, that's a relatively good thing. But hey, as you start to lose moving averages, there's a little bit of concern, right? But hopefully 19.2 holds. If that's lost, we have to hold that because you can see that's basically the 100 moving average right now. Listen, this needs to do well for tech stocks to do well, all right? So please, please, please watch the NASDAQ, all right? Let's move to the S&P 500. S&P 500 is actually identical to the NASDAQ. There was a moment where this was looking a little bit worse. These are basically at the same place right now, right? This one's under the 50, the other one's over the 50, but I mean, relatively speaking, these aren't too different, right? Oh, it's funny, I had an RSI line right here. It looks like we've been kind of hitting that RSI and trying to go up. Hopefully that's a good sign. Hopefully our RSI is low enough and maybe the S&P will go up. Look, I really want S&P right here. I want S&P basically at 16,015, give or take, okay? Last one here is the Dow Jones, DJ30. This is the worst of them, obviously, right? We have definitely lost the 50. We've made our way to the 100. We try to rebound from the 100. Lo and behold, we're right back at the 100, right? So this is the one that has me a little bit worried for the other ones. Look, indices are a sector themselves, right? So these should be moving together. So the fact that this one's one full moving average, almost two if you're looking at NASDAQ, that's a little hardcore to me, right? But end of the line, same thing. Just stay over your golden line, hold that 200 moving average. All three of these need to recover before we're going to see some good things happen in the market, all right? So for now, I would say I think I'm just kind of assuming everything is just a year-end sell, all right? There are fund managers that have already determined, listen, before today, all right? But fund managers know if they're going to hit their targets, if they're not going to hit their targets, and they're already planning for next year, right? So this sell-off is a little bit on the normal side. As long as nothing crazy happens, you know, I'll say this, next Monday is going to be the first real trading day, all right? Because tomorrow is closed, Thursday and Friday is a short week, end of the week I generally don't like, so we're really kind of waiting for Monday at this point, all right? So I think that was a good index review right there. Let's start going through some tickers. I see Archer in the comments. Throw your tickers. I have a few I for sure want to cover as well, but let's take a look at Archer. ACHR, sorry. ACHR. Okay, so let's take a look at this thing. This is beautiful, all right? I think the first thing I have to say is I'm a little surprised that this continued to do so well, even though NASDAQ came back, right? So let me just jump real quick. You can see NASDAQ peaks basically on the 16th and then has since made its way down. ACHR, clearly not the same case, right? You can make, no, not even, because look, we peak all the way up here on the 26th, right? So this is what I love, the 8 moving average, you know, right? Like I'm here watching this thing hold the line. I'm here seeing it lose it, use the 20 like a champion, and then get right back up, right? So this is good. The one thing I gotta say, I am never a big fan when a ticker does well, but the respected index doesn't. All right, so this is very much a tech stock, right? We're talking about aerospace. We're talking about, I think they do like the flying cars that Joby does. Joby does as well, right? So it should be kind of going down like NASDAQ, right? But the fact that it isn't, I think, says two things. Number one, people like this stock. And I mean, just look at the volume, right? 18 million is not the biggest numbers that we've seen, but hey, just been crushing that 50-day average, right? So To me, this one's really all about the moving averages. As long as we hold the 8 and the 20, look, this can fall all the way down to $8.70 and actually still be very, very bullish. You can maybe even argue 830, but I think I'd rather that 870, 880 right there, right? But look, this is what the moving averages are supposed to do. They grab you, they keep you up. You'll slip it once, but then right back up, right? So let's take a look at the weekly really quickly. Yeah, this ain't a bad weekly. Where's your 8 moving average? 850. Yeah, look at that. Between 850 and 830, I can maybe see it coming to that. But again, that's actually pretty bullish. The only thing that's kind of disappointing is a drop from 10 something to, or 9 something to 8 something. Not the prettiest of percentages, right? But is what it is, I would say. So yeah, overall, this is actually doing pretty well, actually, I would say. Next one I see, all right, we'll get into the quants. Let's do some, before I do the quants, let me do KULR. I saw a bunch of people message me on KULR, okay? Look. What happens on any, and I'm telling you, every single stock, okay, you go away from the 8 and you have to come back to the 8. You go away and you have to come back. KULR has done two things. It generally goes up and comes down. Right here, it goes up and goes horizontal, okay? And that's what you're generally looking for on a stock. You want it to go away from the 8, horizontally to the 8, so that it could take off again, okay? What we saw right here was a takeoff, and oh, my screen went away. Hold on, what just happened? Give me a second. Oh man, I can't see anything. I'm not at my house right now. We're on a vacation right now. Did this slip? Is it that? Oh, dang. Okay. Oh man, okay. Give me a sec. This is gonna get a little uglier, but I'm gonna try to keep going. I gotta disconnect this. Dang. Okay, hold on. My screen is adjusting. Okay. I think I am still live right now. Oh man, but I can't like look at. I'm still live. Okay, sorry. So look, let's look at KULR. So with KULR, the issue really was, like I said, stay here. The issue really was that we went away from the 8 and we made our way down to the 8 this time, right? And I will say, you hear me say it all the time, once you lose a 50% candle, you gotta start to worry a little bit. Basically, that 419 was roughly half of this last good big green candle. Lo and behold, once we lost that, we'd lost that 17% today pretty quickly, right? It really seems like we're probably going to come to 263 at this point. I don't like that RSI. I don't like that volume. MACD for sure is still positive, but it's not beautifully positive. You know what I mean? So end of the day, you hear me say it all the time. As long as you're over the 8 and the 20, you're actually still bullish in my eyes, right? The issue just becomes, like I said, and you got to watch for this. When you go too far up from the 8, if you don't come horizontal, you're going to come down to the 8. And yeah, that drop from 5 something to 3 something, that's a tough drop right there, right? So that's really all that this like specific little moment was. But hey, end of the day, we're still holding the 8 moving average, right? So you kind of need to decide. This is where you need to decide if you're long or short, right? And this kind of stuff. But again, a drop from 340 to 260 would be worrisome. Going to 260 would actually still be bullish because you actually would still be over the 20 moving average, right? So again, you just kind of need to look at your balance right there. When I'm looking at KULR on the weekly, this one's a little bit tough because that's obviously a great candle that got us over the 200 moving average, that got us over all the moving averages. I don't quite know if I'm going to call that confirmation just yet, but I think the one good thing is, hey, the 8's a lot higher up than the 200, and really it seems like the 20 is probably going to get there, right? So I don't think we're going to lose this 200 moving average, but look, the 200 moving average on the weekly is about roughly $1.30. So if you fall from that 340 to the $1.30, that would be real rough. 260 and 2 are the very big supports that you have between where we're at now and that 200 moving average right there. All right, so that's at least some quick KULR thoughts. Let's run through the quantum tickers right now. RGTI. Okay, Rigotti. I think Rigotti in a lot of ways is the exact same thing I was saying on ACHR, all right? I am shocked. I am shocked that NASDAQ has been going down since the 16th, but Rigotti is holding. That's actually crazy to me because, again, you got a quantum computer is as NASDAQ as a ticker can get, right? That is very heavy, very heavy tech, right? And all we saw was just a little baby drop, and then all of a sudden the 8 moving average did the job, right? So look, in a lot of ways, this is actually still really bullish, right? It's still over the 8, it's still over the 20, we're still over the golden line. I think we just really need NASDAQ to pick itself up. Because remember, all right, if you were watching my early videos, I was loving the quantum stocks here. I was loving it on that super NASDAQ uptrend right there, right? Obviously, it's still doing pretty well, but if NASDAQ can do well, that's how you get something like that right there, right? So Rigotti is actually still doing decent. I think my general concern is the NASDAQ right there. Looking at the weekly, all we've been doing is going away from the 8, right? The last thing I would want to do is fall back to the 8, okay? I think my important numbers on Rigotti are probably going to be, oh, it's actually what we basically wicked. It's 14.15 and then 10.20. I think those are the 1-2s right there. What do you give me here? Okay, 13. So I think that 14.50, that 13.15, and 10.20. Those are the 1, 2, 3 supports before I start getting really worried. Look, the 20 moving average is going to golden cross that 10.90 line. If we lose 1090, that would be really scary. I think I like the fact, though, that there were 3 supports that I mentioned above that line, right? So, yeah, overall, this is doing good. We obviously want NASDAQ to continue. But look, in a lot of ways, these ran hard, right? So maybe there's something to say about finding something fresh. But, hey, end of the day, you know I say it all the time. If you can truly break a golden line, all I expect is 20% after 20% after 20%, right? That's one good candle. None of those tell me we've broken it, right? So I'm not quite seeing the Rigotti golden line break, but hey, I'm over the moving averages, and there's some supports before I get there, right? So not too shabby right there. Oh, sorry, my mouse is messing up. All right, next on the list, we'll look at IONQ. IONQ has, okay, I mentioned this on a YouTube comment, and I want to say it here. I think IONQ is maybe number 2 in this quantum sector. I have no fundamental information. I don't know what any of these companies do. To me, I really like IONQ because unlike all the other stocks, this one was a slow and steady climb, right? Like, let me just zoom out a little bit. Oh, zoomed out way too much. My apologies. This is a big rocket. Like, I'm not pretending that this is a small little gain, right? But this is a far more stable slope than I think all the other ones were. Most of the other ones like flew from the 8 and came back. Like, a lot more of this kind of takeoff. Not that many on IONQ. And to me, slow and steady is actually a sign of strength, all right? I think it's the exact same comments on Rigotti, all right? We're over the 8, we're over the 20, we're over the golden line on the daily. We're over the 8, we're over the golden line, but man, that's a scary gap between the 8 and the 20. I would hate to fall that, right? So, give me a sec. What are our lines? Really, there's not too many. It's actually only these 3. So it's 86, wow, 38.66. That's the 20 moving average. I don't know if I should make these 2 separate ones or what. Look, I think for now, let's just use this. You can keep that 38 number in your back pocket, but really it's 36.50 and then 31. We really need to hold that 36 right there. That's a bit of a bad drop from there, so just kind of keep that in mind. But IONQ, so far, just looking at this thing, it's done a very good job of holding the 8 moving average and actually only using the 20 moving average once on this entire climb. So actually, even if we were to fall to basically 40, I think the 20 might actually be able to still hold here. Again, I need the NASDAQ to do better. That will help this a lot. But yeah, IONQ, not too shabby here. Yeah. Let's go to the next one, QUBT. Nope, wow, I spelled that horrible. I don't have my keyboard on me, so I'm typing very sadly here. Oof, this one I don't like as much. Now, obviously it's the exact same things, right? We're kind of over the 8, we're still kind of over the golden line. This one just, oh man, I think what's bothering me is the volume down here the most. I really don't like this volume, and really, these aren't that big of candles. It's really interesting, but see, look, this stock knows how to just sit on the 8 and wait until the moment comes and goes, right? I think my concern is it's been sitting on the 8. If NASDAQ doesn't pick up, it might not do well, but really, 1430. This must hold 1430. That's basically the 20 moving average and the golden line. If you lose that, it could be a fast fall down to the single digits, actually. So do not lose 1435 on QUBT. I think that's the most important thing here. Let me look at a couple other QBTS. Let's do that one next. QBTS. Same kind of comment, actually. I'm not liking this one as much. You only have one support line here. You only have 713. If you lose 713, you're probably going to lose the 20 moving average, and that's a really bad fall to the 50 right there, right? So be a little careful with these last two. I did like those first two a little bit more. I think I'm now starting to see a little bit of disjointment in the sector, right? What was everything doing beautiful is now all of a sudden a quick 50-50 on these two, on these four, right? Too nice, too bad. Let's look at QSI. QSI has me worried. QSI, if you don't get back over 318 on Thursday, it's gonna fall down to 220. There's very little in between to save it. What's your hourly look like? Yeah, look at that. Even in the hourly, unless it could get back up over this thing, it's basically dropping all the way down there, right? So QSI is a little bit on the worrisome side. We've now covered 5. I've only really liked 2 out of the 5, and again, I think that's going to echo the sector isn't as robust as it was. I don't know if the word should be right, but yeah, you get it. I think that's a pretty good review of the quant stocks. Let's see. Okay. BBAI sounds like a good next one. I got the rest of the tickers people through. Good. All right, let's take a look at BBAI. One sec. Hopefully the view's not annoying you guys and gals. It is annoying me a little bit, but hey, I'm here to make you all happy. You know that. BBAI, look, I want to zoom out. I'll be honest. I know this one well, so I'm watching it, right? You heard me talk about it a bunch on my last few videos. This 432 line is no joke, all right? The last time we were over it was basically all the way back here in 2023, in early 2023 too. So this is now a 2-year-old resistance, okay? Good candle, no confirmation. Good candle, no confirmation. All we're doing right now is battling this line. Okay, as long as we're over the 8 and the 20, it is all good here. Okay, 20 moving average is at $3, basically $1 below where we're at, right? So that is a quick 25% drop if we were to fall all the way down there, right? I could see this coming down to 380. Hopefully we don't lose 380. That's definitely the goal right there, right? Again, an alert is not an immediate buy notification. I got a bunch of alerts going on. But right now, this is all about the 430 line that I talked a bunch about on the last videos, and this is why we need confirmation. Yesterday was lovely. Yesterday was a beautiful 14% double-digit day. I know it got a bunch of people excited. This is why you always hear me say, I need confirmation. I need confirmation. Yes, clearly we're 2 cents over the line. You know I need it to break, not be over, right? So BBAI, there's only one thing going on. There is only this 2-year $4.32 resistance, right? If it was to break, I'll show it on the weekly because it's a little easy. Oh man, I got so many lines. Sorry. If it was to break, look, this is what I was looking for. Red, 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 red. We're on the line right here. Green, 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 green. Red, 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 red. There is a lot of movement, and I do think that there's a real good shot at this 550 or basically 7 if, and I'm telling you, it's a big if that line right there was to break right there, all right? It is all about 432 on BBAI. I have no idea what happened to RR today. Let me know if there was any news. Again, I'm on vacation. I'm not really looking at much stuff. I was a little shocked to see this 25% drop right there. When I look at yesterday's RSI, you can see it in the box over there. The RSI was 90. Maybe it was an RSI move. I could see that. The real, I'm surprised simply is there's no resistances here. There are no educated lines for me to draw and say, okay, maybe that should hold. If you do see the open of this red candle is actually kind of what slowed us down. Truth be told, I would have never drawn a line right there. I drew it up here for a reason. I'm a little surprised that this slowed us down. Maybe it was a combo of that high 90 RSI and the open of that big red candle. I'll be honest though, I'm a little surprised at this 25% drop today. I think the one thing that would have been explainable, but even that is just a hard word to use. But yeah, once we lost 50% candle, once we lost that 320, scary things were going to happen. All of a sudden you had to start to think we're going to go back to the 8 moving average. The other thing is just look, we go away from the 8, we come down. We go away, we come down. We go away, we come down. So far, all we're kind of doing on RR is bouncing on the 8 like it has been. But yeah, more time. I'm a little bit on the shock side that this thing dropped as much as it did, especially like I said, there's no resistances right here. There's nothing but red, 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 and nothing, nothing, nothing. I really thought that would have been a pretty fast elevator up to that 4 number, but hey, lo and behold, this is where we're at right now, right? RSI is a little worrisome, but hey, MACD isn't too bad. I remember talking a lot about this 208 line as well, and honestly, those are 3 decent candles. That's a decent one. That's an important doji, and that's a nice confirmation after. A 20% candle after a doji generally makes me think there's more to come after. So again, very, very, very shocked by this 25% day. I think that's an important thing to say though, right? Like, technical analysis isn't perfect. There's no crystal ball, and hey, I don't think I'm great. I know a lot of people like to compliment me and stuff. I definitely get a lot of them wrong. So this right here, I never, if I made a video yesterday after this candle, I would have said 20% up, not 20% down. I can honestly say that, you know what I mean? So where's the weekly? Maybe the weekly shows something. No, not really. No, not really. Interesting. Yeah, RR. Let me know in the comments if there was any like offering or any like news things, but cool. I think I've gotten through all the viewer requests actually. What else did I want to look at? I wanted to show FFIE. So FFIE, I know this one went crazy yesterday. Truth be told, we caught this one on the Discord. Mr. Onion, oh my gosh, good call, man. What happened on FFIE? Look at this 50 moving average line. The last time we were anywhere near it was in July. Truth be told, the last pretty candle, I would say it was that one, was in May of this year, right? So the red line, red line, red line, all of a sudden you close nicely over the red line. You also close over a resistance. You break the 50. The next expectation I got is you're going to run to the 100. You know what I mean? So try to confirm, man, I can't believe it crossed 4 as well. And really, when I zoomed out and I looked, that was the only candle right there. So truth be told, FFIE did the job and then some, right? But look, I think it makes sense that it didn't confirm the 100. Just look at that 100. We've been nowhere near it, right? So it's not an easy line. But yeah, that's a beautiful technical. I saw a bunch of people talking about squeezes. There is no such thing as a squeeze, all right? That's an opinion, believe me. That's not a fact, right? But there are technical breaks that happen, and that's what I think happened here. That's why, look, I saw some headline about them introducing something at CES. That means nothing, right? That is not a headline-worthy news that's going to bring a 75% gain. You know what I mean? So this was a very, very beautiful technical move in my eyes right here, all right? Let's see, is there anything else? Yo, happy New Year's Eve. That is that. Do not call me my lord. Get out of here. You guys are all the sirs and the madams. Come on now. But yo, happy New Year. I can't believe Chart Readers is almost at 6,000 subscribers. I can't believe that the Discord is almost at 600 people. I said this earlier. I'm going to say it one more time. I always used to say once I got to 6,000 subscribers, I would start charging. Truth be told, I thought I would get to 6,000 subscribers maybe end of next year. I don't even know, but look, I have no plans to start charging for anything, all right? YouTube will remain for free. Discord will remain for free. I'm having so much fun doing this. I'm getting a lot of really smart comments and smart replies, and there are people that have shown that I was wrong, and they gave me good educated reasons why, and I've made the important changes on my side, you know what I mean? So yeah, it's just way too cool to see what this place has done. I can't believe everyone is still so nice to everyone. You know what I mean? Like, I love the fact that people are comfortable asking basic questions and knowing that they're not going to get laughed at and made fun of and this and that, right? So, loveliness. Okay, any other tickers I want to go through? Let's talk about SoundHound real quick. I haven't covered SoundHound. Also, what time is it? 10:30. Okay, we've been here for about a half hour. Okay, SoundHound. Ooh, SoundHound with the first little interesting moment here. SoundHound has been beautifully over the 8. Today's the first one under it. Remember, the 20 will catch it and bounce it over. I think that is what should happen here. If this goes below 1750, I would be worried, because if you lose 1750, you're going to come really quickly to 1530, if not maybe all the way down to 12. All right, Sound Hound cannot lose 1760, 1750, depending your risk reward tolerance right there. Let's look at SOFI. Let's take a look at SOFI. Oh man, wow, look at this thing. I think the one good thing that's happening here, obviously, you know I don't like horizontal, right? If you just put your money in the bank, if you're just going to keep your money horizontal, right? The good thing with this staying horizontal is the 50 moving averages catching up. The distance was horribly bad. Starting to get better, starting to get better, getting better, getting better. If we were to fall, we would fall to the 50, but hey, at least the 50 is up here instead of down here where it used to be, right? So not liking the horizontal by any means. Obviously, this is going to need to break 1660 to keep doing well. At the minimum, as you're staying horizontal, you're letting the 50 catch up. My number, if we were to fall, is going to be 1425. I can see this coming to 1425. Hopefully that holds very well, because just look at this thing. We actually have not even used the 50 moving average once on this uptrend, right? So 50 is actually a very, very strong line. I think that should hold. I would use this. Oh no, we're too close to that. I'd use this. I think if you lose 15, you're gonna come really quickly to 1430. I think that's my SOFI line right there. Any other tickers? Let me know if there's anything else. Otherwise, I think a 30-minute live isn't too bad. Realistically, I'm not gonna make a video on Thursday. I'll probably make my next video on Friday. I'll cover a bunch of the sectors. KULR. Hey, I did cover KULR. That was actually one of the first ones I covered. So if you just go back on this live, I spent a good amount of time on KULR actually. But yeah, I think KULR, there's reasons to be worried, but there's also some reasons to not. It's all about what that 8 moving average does, all right? One more check. Anything on the comments? Any other tickers I should be looking at? I don't see anyone typing. Okay, hey, I love doing this so much. Oh wait, we got one more. I don't know that one. NVGR. NVGR. I've never heard of this one. NVGR. Is there a typo on that? Did I dyslexic the letters? NRGV. NRGV. Again, yeah, I don't know that ticker. NRGV. Energy Vault Holdings. I don't know this. Okay. Okay. Okay, interesting. Damn, I wish I had my bigger screen. Where are we to that? We're right there. Ooh, look at where we're at. Interesting. I don't know if I should draw it right there or all the way up here. What do you look like? No, I don't like that. Okay, I think this is the... Okay, we're at a very, very interesting resistance right now on NRGV. If you can break 243, I think it'll go to 418. I think it's important to at least have 321 in your pocket. I don't know if this 321 is going to hold. I really like this MACD and RSI as well. Hey, what happened yesterday? That's a big, big volume yesterday. I know it looks like an insignificant 10% candle, but that's a big volume. Interesting ticker right here. I like that one. I already did BBAI. Go back and you can definitely see that one. One of Time Magazine's invention of the year. Interesting. Yo, that's an interesting ticker right there. Interesting. What was the invention? Oh man, I'm curious about. Look, you know I'm never here to fall in love with a stock, right? But when there is an interesting fundamental story, and you're showing me over all the moving averages, and you're showing me some nice golden crosses, and you're showing me some MACD, RSI, and volume that I like. Oof, that's interesting. The one other thing, just look. I wish I had a better screen. That's nice volume. It's a lot more red green. I would even arguably say red during that. This is the nicest sustainable green we've had in a minute. This is an interesting ticker here. I will be honest. I'm gonna follow this one. Again, you know I'm not here to fall in love with the stock, but I dig it. Again, BBAI, don't say sorry you're late. It starts when you get here. Get out of here. I did cover BBAI, so if you go back on the videos, I did cover that one. I covered RR. I covered Sound Hound. I covered SOFI. We did all the quant videos. One more check. Anything else? Oh, hold on, let me read this. A proprietary hyperscale energy storage solution. Interesting. All that stuff sounds way smarter than my dumb little head can understand. But let's be honest, data centers are gonna like the cloud ain't going anywhere, and we're gonna need energy, and we're gonna need storage. And yeah, that's a good space to look at actually. Interesting. I like that you threw that ticker into the family here. Um, Oh, you know what? But see, the Discord's too messy. I don't know what they're talking about. I haven't even been on the Discord in a minute. All right, I'm gonna do one more check. Any other tickers? Anything to look at here? Otherwise, hey, I think this is a beautiful last video of the year. Oh my gosh, one more time. All right. 2025 is gonna crush it for us, okay? I don't know if the market's gonna go up. I don't know if the market's gonna go down. I know we're gonna be looking at it, we're gonna adjust, and we're gonna react. And that's all we're doing here, all right? Personally, I think 2025 is gonna be a really good year. I do, okay? I actually thought this year was gonna be a bad year, and it was a beautiful year. So hey, I'm more of a short-term guy than a long-term guy. But one political thing, okay? Trump is in power and he has the House and the Senate. So there's going to be very, very little kind of blocking him. And look, I'm not here to talk about politics. I don't care if we like the guy or don't like the guy, right? But he should have 2 free years before the next House and Senate election comes. That's where there'll be a little bit more, chaos maybe. And I think that might do some stuff. But overall, I'm really looking forward to 2025. ALLT, we'll do one more ticker. Again, throw tickers in the chat. Otherwise, we're going to end this soon. ALLT. Oh, man, this is a nice one. Are we in all-time highs here? No, we're not. But look at that. Oh, my goodness. Just so let me draw this. Oh, we're coming up to that. We basically filled the red to green, green, green beautifully. I wish you showed this one a lot sooner. I think I would expect this to come to 690. Let me just kind of come up here and see what we're looking at immediately. Okay, if this can get back over $6, 608 is what I'm clicking on. I think if it can get back over 608, I would believe that 690 is next. That 690 line will not be easy because now you're going to come to an IPO resistance right there. Oof, look at that. And the weeklies right there. So we're on the 200 on the weekly. If you can get over this line, you're going to break the 200. You're going to break the IPO resistance. That's a big, big number for ALLT. I think at the minimum, I don't know how long you've been in this, but this was a beautiful catch right there at the dead minimum. So I would say, knowing that this 200 moving average is there, I'm a little less confident about that 690 number. What is that thing sitting on? 640. Yeah, between 608 and 640, I think might be the first move, and then 640 to 690. If you can break that $7 basically, I'm using a weekly, but I think it'll still be okay. I would click right there. I think 11 could be next. I think that could be next. 1040 would be next if you could break that 7. That's what I'd be looking for. This is an interesting one. I just think we got it. It was a little late to the game on this one. One more check. Any other tickers you all want me to cover here? I think that's the no right there. Hey, I sincerely love this place so much. I love each of you in here so much. And for real, we are all equals here. I am not better than any of you. I am maybe a little more dedicated and obsessed with this thing, but believe me, my parents did not give me this technical stack, all right? My parents are not these financial gurus or anything like that. I lost so much money by myself. I was tired of losing money by myself. I figured it out, knock on wood. I want you all to figure it out too, all right? Because we're not playing poker here. I don't care if you can bluff better than me. You're not going to steal my chips. I'm the only one in control of my chips. You're the only one in control of your chips. What I'm trying to do is build a place where we have a bunch. NRGV is a beautiful example. I've never heard of that ticker. All of a sudden, I'm going to put that one in my back pocket. I have no idea. You know what I mean? So we are here adding more eyes to the team. That's all we're doing. And believe me, we're going to get a bunch of them wrong. All right. I'm not here pretending we're going to get them all right. But when we get them right, we're going to crush it. Last 2 tickers, NCI and TPET, I think is a shady ticker. I think I know that one. I think that one's a shady one. NCI. Oof. Our first in. Oof. Yo, I love this one over this line. I'm gonna set an alert. I'll set an alert for what was it, 93 cents? Yeah, I'll do 93 cents. 0.93. An alert's not an immediate buy notification. Obviously, it fakes some people out today, right? But you break 91 cents and all you have is red, red, red to green, green, green to all-time highs. You know what I mean? So I don't know if there was any real reason for today's pump. Personally, today was an ugly day on the index, right? So I just think maybe this was a silly one that moved. But hey, watch this one. If it could break that 91 cents, I think there's a lot of interesting things here. And then TPET. I swear, I think this, yeah, do not, no, this one's, listen, this is the only one, I've said this and I'm going to, the market is actually way better than it is bad. Do not look at stocks under the moving averages, all right? We want to be over the moving averages at this point. I would love it over 4. Yeah, 4. Maybe, look, I'll say this. There's a lot of red, red, red to green, green, green. Maybe there's actually a real move here to 250. Because you break the 8, you're going to go to the 20. Red, 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 green, 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 red, 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 green, 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 right? Just came off a reverse split. You know I don't like that much. But I think there's a decent maybe that we make a move to 250, give or take. Personally, I like this one way over 440, I would say. Cool. One last check. What about VSH? Let's keep going. VSH. Hey, my wife is Indian. Vishay makes me think of Indian. Nah, I don't like this one too much. Again, same comment, right? We're on the weekly. I'll go to the daily, but there's, okay. This one's at least a little bit tighter, but yeah, it needs to get over 1835. Let me zoom out. Yeah, you break 1835, you'll make a nice climb to 20. That's about a 20% move. Personally, I love this one over 20. You get me over 20, you get me over all the moving averages. It knows how to do it too. It's made some pops. Yeah, VSH. I think that's my thoughts on this one. Sorry, volume's a little weak though. Look at that thing, right? Like we are barely getting over that 50-day line. I don't know. I think there's better tickers out there, especially just given the strength of the market here. Oh, HIMS. I liked HIMS. I was trading HIMS for actually a pretty long time. Oh, wow. That's what happened to HIMS? Get out of here. So HIMS is very much Dow Jones dependent, okay? HIMS, okay, in my opinion at least, some might say S&P 500. This is just some like health stuff, right? And to me, that's a little bit more on the Dow Jones side than the S&P 500. There's absolutely no NASDAQ in this thing, right? But I thought we were going to go all-time. We were in all-time highs when I was trading it, was it not? Yeah, for sure. We broke that. I thought it was going to do substantially better. Let me draw that line. I would say somewhere right there. Okay, look. Right now, it's basically all about the moving averages. I'm going to delete that line because, yeah, we're in the MAs. Personally, this will do fantastically if it can get over 29 bucks. All of these candles are pretty insignificant. This is the only one good one. Get me over 29, and I will like HIMS again. I will actually set that alert. I'll do 29. Let me know what that gets back over. I liked HIMS. I actually really did. Oh no, is my volume too? Okay, I'm on vacation. I'm not in my normal setup, so I'm doing my best here. Hopefully the volume isn't too bad. There's a moment where they couldn't even hear me at all, but let me do one last check here. We've been going for a good while right now too. What time is it? Oh man, 10:45. I love it. Any other tickers to look at? Cool. I think we're going to end the stream here. Hey, enjoy today. Enjoy tomorrow. I'll probably be back on Friday. I'm so excited for 2025. I really am. Hey, have a great one, everyone. End stream. And cool. Cool.